For those of us who've joined us after we had started, we have a tagline for today. And the tagline is sustainability, collaborate, innovate. So when I say sustainability, you say collaborate, innovate. Let's go. Sustainability. Can I hear it better? Sustainability. There you go. Thank you very much. And the next presentation of the day is from the International Air Cargo Association. Yesterday we heard from Steven Polmans, who is the chair of TIACA, during the punchline session. And today he will be discussing with us a focus on cargo sustainability. Join me to invite Steven Polmans to stage to make his presentation. Steven, you have the floor.
Morning, everybody. It's good to see that also in Africa, people need a bit more time on the second day to make it. I have to congratulate Steve with a 10-kilometer run this morning. Knowing how hilly Kigali is, I'm so happy you didn't ask me to join you. As you can see, running is not my favorite sport. I'm more the late evening guy. So I could show you a picture of this morning from myself, but trust me, you will be much more pleased that I'm not doing so. And I forgot to take one yesterday evening, so let's just go to the presentation and keep the pictures for later. I will put some on Instagram after my trip anyway. TIACA. I would like to see a presentation rather than, there we are. So first, a little bit about TIACA, just to be clear that everybody is aware of who we are and what we do. So TIACA is a non-for-profit organization, and we do represent the entire air cargo value chain on a global scale. So we are not limited to regions, and we are also not limiting ourselves to certain verticals in the industry. We do not have the airlines, it's not the forwarders, it's the entire value chain. And we try to bring all of them together. And when your tagline, one of your taglines is collaborate, I think that's our DNA and what we try to do. How can we collaborate to make air cargo better, more efficient for everybody? So these are a few examples of everybody who can be a member. And basically, membership is open for everybody dealing with air cargo. We want to unite air cargo. We have a very fragmented industry, and collaboration is the only way forward. So how can we unite the air cargo to become to a safe, profitable business for everybody? This is our board. What is special about our board is that we also look at equal representation. That means there's only a certain number of board members possible from each region, but also from each vertical. That means on board level, we always have representation from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from airlines, from handling agents, from IT companies, and that equal representation is key for us. We work on 6 pillars. Membership, we are a membership-driven organization, so our members come first. Advocacy, like AFRA, we have the same. A lot of things, if we want to change in our business, it is about policy, working with governments and other stakeholders. Partnerships. We believe that we can't do everything ourselves, and that's why we like to collaborate and join strengths. That's why we have this long-standing agreement with AFRA. We have it with some other associations. Sometimes it's better to join forces than both trying to achieve the same. Knowledge. How can we increase knowledge for staff, for companies, intelligence on what is air cargo and how to deal with air cargo, especially with all the changing regulations these days. That's very helpful. A big one is sustainability, and I'll talk more about that one. We believe that we are the ideal association for sustainability because sustainability needs collaboration, it needs innovation, and that's what we stand for. And then finally, event and outreach. We also have our events where we meet with our members and where we have workshops and exhibition possibilities. So what about sustainability? And I think before we start, and I've said it yesterday and I can't say it enough, I really think, and it's a bit more difficult for the airlines in our industry, but we should really do ourselves a pleasure, and we should stop talking about sustainability when we are talking about environmental. Sustainability is not environmental. Environmental is only a part of sustainability. I love the definition of the United Nations about sustainability. And basically it is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. That's sustainability. That's easy. And basically it says, how can we leave this place for the next generation in a better way than the way we got it from our ancestors? That also means that if we have our program, it's people, planet, profit. Yesterday we had a discussion about should it first be an environmental, should it first be profit, economics? It's very simple, it's the same. And when we talk about sustainability, it's not only decarbonization, it's not only buying new aircraft. We can do an awful lot of things that are not necessarily costing a lot of money or even costing money. We had a project which was all about biodegradable plastics. And in the end, they even were cheaper than the normal plastics. So for a lot of cargo operators using a lot of plastics for their pallets, for the cargo, by going sustainable, by going more environmental, they were even saving money. So I think when it comes to environmental, yes, we have work to do. When it comes to sustainability, this industry is doing great work, how we develop economies, how we create connectivity to people. I think we should be really proud of what we are achieving, and when people start bashing us, I really think we should fight back and correct them and say how good we are for the planet, for the people, and that we have work on environmental and that we're dealing with it. So people, planet, prosperity, and then we say the +2 or tagline is innovation and partnerships. So almost the same as innovative and collaboration. So we are very much aligned on that one, so that's really good. So our program in the 3 pillars has 8 different programs. Yes, it's decarbonization. It's about eliminating waste. It's about biodiversity. It's about supporting local economies and communities. It's about improving lives and well-being of people, employees, and partners. It's about efficiency and profitability. It's about attracting, retaining employees. And it's about building and nurturing partnerships. Those are the 8 areas where we see sustainability and where we have also developed a program. So we have made a whole roadmap on these 8 programs on what we believe companies and the industry, the air cargo industry, should do moving forward. What we also do is a yearly survey based on this program where we ask the industry on their feedback, their input on the different topics. And I will show you a few slides what comes out of it. On our website, you can find these reports. They are accessible for everybody. And we have done now 5 years in a row. So we also get some nice statistics and also some evolution about the role of sustainability in companies. We also have our sustainability awards, and I encourage everybody to consider participation. We have 2 of them. We have the ones for startups, and there is a cash prize of $10,000 involved. And then we have the one for corporates. There is no cash prize, but there is still the positive publicity. And it's again about sustainability. So we have a really wide range of winners being active in, like I said, biodegradable plastics, but also on unmanned vehicles. Sometimes companies are surprised how good they are on sustainability, because they are afraid, because they always link it back to that environmental thing and feel that we should not be entitled to say positive things about what we do. And that's what we want to change, and that's why we want to highlight some positive successes. We have developed a Blue Sky program. Based on our roadmap, we give companies an opportunity to do a self-assessment and see, where do I score? How good am I? Or where is my points of improvement, and how do I compare with my competitors? Am I doing a better job, and what's happening in my region? And we also offer companies, after a self-assessment, to do a remote desktop assessment, where they also will get a certificate and an official score on their performance. And finally, because training, there's so much training going on and still so many people still looking for options, we have created a global training repository where basically everybody giving trainings related to the wider air cargo and sustainability programs can list their trainings and everybody can have access. If you are looking for a training in general cargo management and it should be remote digital, you can find. If you want an in-house class training on environmental, you can find. It's our job to connect people rather than try to offer everything ourselves again. So a bit more about the Blue Sky program. It's about recognition, it's about transparency, it's about capacity building, and it's about market intelligence. It's really about, when we started talking about sustainability and not only environmental, we always got the question from people, from companies, where do I start? What can I do? What should I do? And that's basically the aim of the program. It should give companies a start on what they can do on sustainability, or at least a starting point where they are today when it comes on a sustainability roadmap. It is based on, again, all freely accessible. There is nothing hiding. We do it for the industry, so we give it free away. So we have everything on how we do it, what is being asked. All these questions are freely available, so people and companies can really see what we do, what we plan to do, what we are expecting. There is also no cost involved for the self-assessment. So it is a free of charge starting point for companies. But if you then do the desktop assessment, which we do remote, you will get a full dashboard that will show you on all the 8 pillars, where are you scoring, where are you strong, where are some points for improvement, and we will also compare with other stakeholders. And you can do that in your region, you can do that globally, you can do that within your same verticals to compare you with, as a handling agent, with another handling agent, and so on. And of course, you will also get a list of points of improvement where we feel there is low-hanging fruit where you can start doing things. We are really happy to see that in Europe and in America, some companies have included that already in their standard ESG reporting that they need to do towards governments. So that also shows that it creates value. These are a few of the companies that were the launching customers last year when we launched the program. Then I already mentioned about the sustainability awards, and again, we look for showcases on all different areas, and it's not only about decarbonization. I'm sorry that I keep on repeating it, but I think it's for me the most important message. If we all go out and we become ambassadors for our industry, aviation, and we trust and we believe and we are self-confident that we do a good job on sustainability, I'll go back to my country as a happy man. This is the insight reports I was speaking about, again, available on the website. So we do different companies, we have different regions, company types, and then we also look how important is sustainability for companies. What is for, and there you see how important, when people and companies reply to that, and that shows the work we need to do, 95% of people, of companies still think first about environmental when they talk about sustainability. So there is an awful lot of work for us to change that image and to change that ID. But then you also see that, and it's the first time, and probably this was done very recently, so I think the White House impact on certain activities, you see a clearly impact also on what companies believe is important, and we see especially in the US and also a bit in Europe for the first time a decline about the importance of sustainability. Luckily, the majority of people and companies still believe that sustainability is important. But we also look, why should you do sustainability as a company, or what is your motivation to do sustainability? And then you see that for a lot of companies it is about customer request, or it's about employee where they want to do it. So it's not only because of government requirements that they do it. What we have also seen is that for the first time in our assessment, the CEOs are putting more importance to sustainability. Most of the time, they are the ones being more negative about it because the only thing that they see is cost. That is also changing. So there's a good evolutions that we see happening. Then, of course, we also check with the different priorities that we have listed and rank them. And all is about the same. How can we create information? How can we create programs? How can we help companies to make a step? Because yesterday, and we've heard it a lot, is why don't we do this? Why can't we do this? And then I think to myself, but have we tried? Huh? Why do we make something so big that it looks like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow? Huh? Maybe I should not do the 10 kilometers tomorrow morning, but maybe I should go for a walk, and maybe next week I'll run 2 kilometers, and next year when I'm back in Kigali, maybe I can follow Steve. Maybe. And I think that's what we need to do. Let's take these little steps, let's move forward, and we will make an impact. And it creates an environment that is going to be motivating and encouraging for everybody to do start and to do things. And I think that's the most important one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve, for giving us that expose on what TIACA does on sustainability. Largely, it's not only environmental, but it's 360. Do we have any questions for Steve on what TIACA is doing on cargo sustainability? Has anyone considered to be on the TIACA Sustainability Awards? Maybe this is a time you can consider. So, first question.
Hi. Firstly, look forward to seeing you next year and having that run. In terms of data, how do you see data playing a part in improving the turnaround time on cargo and allowing people in different countries to collaborate better?
Data is key. I don't think the lack of data is our problem. I think the overflow of data, the lack of managing data, the lack of making data visible, making it structured, I think that's our biggest challenge. And that's why we have also put digitization as one of our key pillars moving forward. In order to structure it, digitization will be key to cover all the differences. And I always make the example today, when I flew out, the only thing I needed was my passport and my phone. And basically I used that from leaving home, public transport, on the flight, checking in, over here, the hotel, everything. And when you do cargo, we as an industry do not even manage to get an e-airway bill done. And that has to do with all the paperwork, all the regulations, and that is a huge issue for our industry. But we can do two things, and we can start complaining, and then we always say, and we refer, IATA should do something on this, and they should do something on that. Paperwork is not going to change easily because you deal with so many governments. So let's see what we can do, and that means how can we digitize, how can we make it very structured, and then we see that we can make big improvements without, but one day we believe in digital, it's going to happen, so we'll make progress step by step.
Thank you. Any other question? See none. Thank you very much, Steve, for your presentation.